Welcome to NDTV and BQ Prime's special segment, Let's Talk Business. I'm Parmeshwar Bawa, and this is where you can catch the top news stories from the world of business and finance. It was the seventh day of gains on Dalal Street. Markets ended at a one-month high. The Sensex reclaimed the 60K mark, rising over 300 points. Meanwhile, the Nifty too was up nearly 100 points, shutting shop above 17,700. The financial sector was the top performing sector of the day. My colleague Hiral Dadia joins us with the wrap of all the market action.
Thank you, Parmeshwar. Yes, markets have been on a roll overall and up almost 5% from the lows that we hit in the month of March. Seventh consecutive session of gains is what we saw, and clearly investors are adopting a buy on dip strategy. However, there is selling pressure coming in at higher levels. Overall, broader markets also traded in the positive, wherein Bank Nifty outperformed the benchmark indices in trade today, and you had the PSU Bank Index, which was the top gaining sector. Dairy stocks were also rallying, and this was mainly on the back of the heat wave that could create a shortage in India. Sugar stocks were in focus as well on the back of the sugar prices that have extended to the highest level in almost in a decade. Apart from that, you have an important announcement with regards to the IMD, where they are projecting normal monsoon this year. However, El Nino impact could be expected in the second half of the season. The market breadth has been in favor as well overall, and the VIX is going to be an important monitorable because as much as it stays below the 15 mark, the momentum in the index will be missing. Large cap movers today, you had a Kotak Mahindra Bank which gained the most in 17 months, as analysts are expecting the MSCI weight to be increased in May 2023 review. Bajaj Auto was up in trade, as well as Morgan Stanley has increased the target price on the back of the success they have in Triumph. Eicher Motors and ITC were the other gainers. IT stocks have been in focus on the back of the earnings, but TCS will start reporting earnings tomorrow, and the sector was under pressure. In terms of newsmakers, on the back of an order win, smart gains on the Kalpataru Power. On the back of fundraising plans, SBI saw some smart gains. Bank of Baroda reported a strong business update for the fourth quarter, as well as Neogen continues the second day of gains, and an ABB and Apollo Pipes were in focus as well.
And as Hiral briefly mentioned, India is likely to witness a normal monsoon for a fourth consecutive year. That's the word coming in from the IMD as well. But El Nino continues to pose a threat. Now, according to the Met Department, El Nino impact is likely in the second half. A normal monsoon will bring some relief to the economy as it grapples with high food inflation and slowing global growth. Listen in to what the Met Department has to say.
96% of 87 centimeter will be there. Roughly about 83.5 centimeter rainfall will occur during June to September. So that's a first message. This 83.5 centimeter rainfall is coming under the normal category. I am again repeating, out of 5 category, normal category, and it is roughly about what is called range and other things he will explain in detail. So I want to say once again that is a normal monsoon this year is expected.
We have to rely on what is being predicted and what the science tells us. So we have to be prepared for it. But I think right now there is no reason to panic and sort of certainly start acting on what has been said.
The rural wages have been stagnating not for a year or two, but for a long time. If you took even a decadal average, you will find that there has been hardly any significant growth in rural wages. So which means that the economy which absorbs the surplus labor of rural areas is not working very well. So what happens is when people move from rural areas, from the agriculture sector to other sectors of economy, the wages in the rural sector also rise. Now that has not been happening after GST and demonetization, and as a result of that, the employment also on agriculture has gone up to 45.5%. So if the monsoon is good as projected by IMD, then I think it will be good for the rural economy.
Meanwhile, India Inc. will kick off the earnings season tomorrow. And first up, it is IT bellwethers who will come out with their Q4 numbers. IT services giant Tata Consultancy Services will announce its results tomorrow. But how will India's IT industry fare amid a global banking crisis? My colleague Tushar is joining us with the details.
Thank you, Parmeshwar. When TCS kickstarts the fourth quarter earnings season tomorrow, all eyes will be on CEO designate Kriti Vasan for cues on how India's IT bellwether plans to navigate the banking crisis at hand. After all, he's a BFSI veteran of 34 years and perhaps the best position to guide the industry in these uncertain times. Talking of the uncertain times, they're already started showing its effects on the earnings of India's top 5 companies. According to analysts, the revenue of India's top 5 IT companies may have grown or shrunk by 2% in the March quarter. Talking of EBIT or the operational profitability of a company may have also shrunk by 100 basis points or grown by 100 basis points. Still, the deal pipeline remains intact or robust, if you may, because digitalization is not going anywhere. People are going to keep going online. However, there may be a delay in the amount of spending that these companies are doing in the face of the crisis. This essentially means that growth may be delayed and may come only in the second half of this current fiscal, that is FY24, or may even get delayed to FY25. However, all is not lost for India's IT companies. What we have seen is whenever there's a full-blown crisis, Indian IT companies tend to come on the top because people or their clients are looking to save as much cost as possible. So in case there's a full-blown crisis, in case US goes into a recession, we may see higher on offshoring and outsourcing deals for Indian IT companies. So there may be a silver lining after all for these companies. Over to you, Parmeshwar.
Thank you so much, Tushar, for that update. That's all we have for you in this edition of NDTV and BQ Prime special segment, Let's Talk Business. We'll be back at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow, so you can catch the top news stories from the world of business and finance.